to begin. Bollox, talks, and tangents. Lenny's so good on the countdowns, he ignores them every time.
Thank you. Hey, I'm sharing the show. I got my volume down.
You got the volume
We're
down.
working step at a time. It's a work in progress, baby.
May have started the show a little early. Hey, well, we got a fun show. We're talking about Mount Rushmores of music. We're going through so much music, but we might fly off on other tangents of different Mount Rushmores. You know, so just throw them out there in the comments if you want us to do it. But we're going to be talking about music Mount Rushmores, and we're going to see where it goes from there. You and I have probably the least amount of research than we've ever had.
Wasn't necessary, but I had fun looking up stuff, though.
It's all in there. It's all really in there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so we got a couple different categories to go with that. But the first thing we got to do is we got to tell you about our amazing sponsors. And we're drinking one of our amazing sponsors today. I need you to read that for me because I don't know if I can enunciate the word correctly.
Apira Sherry Cask Finish Bourbon. 2023 distillery exclusive. Mm-hmm. So they take their beautiful bourbon and they leave it in a sherry cask for quite some time, and it picks up the flavors and the nuances of that sherry cask. Gives it a little sweetness. You think it's a little winey, but it gives it a little bit of sweetness and a little bit more.
An after dinner bourbon for me. All right, and Blake, I'm going to adjust Lenny's microphone. You know, and Lenny, I'm going to let you talk while I adjust your microphone because all I can see is your microphone.
Aren't you better off that way?
It helps, but I still
How's that?
I still like seeing your smiling face.
There you go, and I do.
Wait, hold on, Dad. You actually like seeing people that were born in New York?
I mean, you know, it's more about their heart than where they were born, Blake.
Thank you. Sure.
So,
thank you.
All right, but have we officially confirmed that Lenny wasn't the one that actually slashed the pool at Florida Man games?
It was way too early in the morning, brother. Yeah. There's no chance I was there at that time of day.
If it happened around midnight, it was not Lenny.
Yep.
So yes, I do love people that were born in New York. So
there you go.
And that's the safest thing to say in my household. So, but our sponsors, St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits, these guys really know how to do the tasting tours correctly. They know how to make amazing liquors, huge variety. You know, the cigar from the distillery last week was. Did you try it?
I have not yet. No, I need that's a big one. I need time to invest.
I could hit 300 with that thing.
Exactly. I need time to invest in that. That's not a dog walker.
Yeah.
That's when you got to sit down. That's a Sunday Times type of thing.
Sunday Times.
Get the whole paper, spread it out, get yourself well, probably not a bagel with my cigar, but
ashes
anyway.
to ashes.
Dust to dust.
All right, question this week was, are you a bagels, toast, or biscuit person?
Depending on where. I mean, I'll take a bagel any day, but not with my eggs.
Yeah, it definitely has to depend on the day, but definitely you got to custom make your bagel though. No plain bagels.
Mm-hmm.
No, it depends on the bagel, but yeah, that's fine. I'll take a bagel, lox, and cream cheese sandwich. That's lunch.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But biscuit, if it's a good biscuit, I don't mind a biscuit. But sometimes I'm tempted to dwell into the biscuit and gravy.
Okay, that's why I was wondering. Right, as a New Yorker. What's your
don't have biscuits in New York.
Yeah, biscuits and gravy.
Correct.
Is not really a thing.
Not a whole lot, no.
Okay.
But
I haven't made gravy in a long time.
But a couple
I need to make some milk gravy, some sausage.
A lot of black pepper, baby. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. A lot of black pepper.
I'm not hating on it.
Okay, that's good stuff.
But it's also wrong for me to say possibly that I actually like croissants better than all three.
See, I'm a toast guy.
Well, are you familiar with, and we should get them as a sponsor, as a matter of fact, I should see, but the French Bakery on Route 312 in US
they have some
A1A.
They have some good
best
fresh
croissants,
stuff.
Guest croissants on this coast.
All right. Need to talk to them.
But I'm a cinnamon toast guy. I like toast, butter, cinnamon sugar on it. Okay. And you like that too, Blake. I've seen you crush some of that when I make it.
So I like
those are good.
Nice over easy egg, toast, soak up the yolk.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you this. I have a hack, and it sounds horrible telling you to a chef, but you can make an over easy egg in the microwave in like 40 seconds. Yeah. Put a little oil on a paper plate, crack the egg, put it on it. 45 to 50 seconds over easy, and it's a great egg, and then season the egg.
Yeah, no reason not to.
Yeah, so I mean, I do egg sandwich. I do bacon egg sandwiches on toast, doing it like that. A lot of times I leave the show in the morning, go home, have that sandwich, and then I go to work.
I'll have to try that and see. Yeah. Right on the paper plate.
We put it on the paper plate, and then you put another paper plate covering it.
Okay. You got to oil them both.
No, you don't have to oil them both. You only have to oil the bottom. But the other paper plate in case the yolk poof. So just to kind of protect the mess in the microwave. But I can tell you, if you want it, depending on how hard you want the yolk, it goes between about 40 seconds to 60 seconds in the microwave.
And those are your helpful hints from Heloise, ladies and gentlemen, scoring at home. Thank you very much. And we'd like to hear from you next week when you have that for breakfast tomorrow, how it worked out.
Yeah, no, eggs are expensive.
I was going to say, right, don't screw it up. Because we're going to have the Waffle House 50 cents to it.
I made a really good quiche last night, so I had that for breakfast this morning. So
quiches are great.
I had some leftover spinach from my dinner from Carrabba's.
Okay.
A little mashed potato, put a little bit of that in to kind of give it some density.
Yeah.
And tomatoes and...
And quiches freeze great. So, if I'm not making my own pie crust and I'm getting the two pre-made pie crusts, you got to be careful because a lot of them are made with lard. But for my niece and my wife, they're not into that. So you got to find the one that's made with vegetable oil.
I do crustless quiches, by the way.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, that works too.
I do a crustless quiche.
But they freeze very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing.
All right. Speaking of great food.
Are we real men?
Yeah.
Because we eat quiche.
Yeah, I think that's a 70s thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a 70s thing. I think we're beyond that point.
I'm getting closer to it.
Real men eat quiche.
Yes, I do. And make quiche.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
Meehan's, you were saying.
Meehan's Irish pub. And you have an announcement there on their St. Patrick's Day celebration. Reggie was in the afternoon show just a couple days ago.
We need him to come in and sit in the parlor with us.
Yeah, he's coming in.
Get him in here.
Well, it's after Reggie's bedtime already.
I know.
Reggie
but
goes
we can
to bed pretty early.
I know. When I catch him, when I go in the evenings, I catch him there. It's like the elusive Reggie in the evening.
I think when you catch Reggie there after 6 o'clock, you're supposed to get a pot of gold. I think that's the way. The Irish rules work.
Okay.
I'm not 100% caught up on the Irish rules, but I think if you catch Reggie there, you get a pot of gold.
Well, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day on Monday, and there is a full calendar of events that have already started at Meehan's.
Okay.
But they will be doing a Irish brunch on Monday, an Irish breakfast, not brunch, an Irish breakfast, and then because of the popularity of Meehan's on St. Patrick's Day, they're going to be limited menu during the rest of the day. So I wouldn't say eat before because whatever their limited menu is, it's going to be as good as any place else in town. But if you're looking for your Irish whiskey, if you're looking for little wee green people, I would go in there and enjoy it terribly much. And say hello to Caleb. Tell him I sent you.
It's a good day to be a redhead.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get kissed all over the place.
Yeah, it's a good day to be a redhead.
Yes.
So, and that's St. Patrick's Day at Meehan's is always just a fun time.
Yep.
So, and they have such a great staff, and the staff's all in on it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. And they're into their 15th year there, ladies and gentlemen. That just tells you a whole lot about the business that has made it through 15 years in this community.
So. Rebecca had a newspaper article from '84 here in St. Augustine she was reading, and it was talking about Churchill's Attic.
Okay.
Which is now the current
Meehan's, yeah.
That's at.
Yeah.
All right. Abear Kresge and Associates. It is tax season.
Don't remind me.
If you want to do your own taxes, you're losing money, give these guys a call at Abear Kresge and Associates. They're the best in town. All right. St. Augustine Pirate Museum. Just a wonderful place, wonderful people, amazing information. So it's one of my favorite museums in town. Absolutely love if you get a chance to take a tour with Captain Mayhem. Make sure you do that. He's so knowledgeable about the history of pirates and how it relates to St. Augustine. If you haven't been there, if you have friends coming in town, get over there and take them over there. All right, Kaiser's Deli and Market. If you haven't been to this location,
shame on you. It
is the best deli in town, no matter what anybody says. There's nobody close. They have the Bollox. Kurt Kaiser over there just does an amazing job. Wonderful man, local. So buy local, support local.
Great selection of beer, and try the pastrami.
All right. Coquina Coast Realty. You have any commercial needs? You have any residential needs? I have an apartment. And by the way, Coquina Coast Realty is my real estate company, and that's 904-669-7901. 904-669-7901. I do have an apartment opening up March 1st.
Okay.
I have office suites available both in the Treasury and at the Cigar Building. So give me a call if you're looking for any of those things. Again, 904-669-7901. All right.
So March 1st. So you sign a lease, then you go to the Florida Man games, get
Yes.
some Florida men to help you move, and then you move into your brand new apartment.
Right there. You just hire them on the spot.
Okay.
Hire they, I'm not insuring any of your furniture at that point.
No. Right. We are not affiliated with any moving men you meet at the Florida Man games.
All right. We're talking about word origins or phrases.
Okay.
What do you got?
Well, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about music.
So I got rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. This was a DJ who kind of get this going, right?
Well,
you got another story? Hold on. I got an itchy head, Ollie.
Okay, scratch that, would you please? Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, rocking and rolling came out of the 17th century based on the motion of ships.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where rocking and rolling came from.
Yeah.
But it got a little bit more steamy in 1922. 1922. Trixie Smith.
I didn't have it going back that far.
Trixie Smith sung a song about My Baby Rocks Me with One Steady Roll,
Okay.
which was an African-American euphemism for knocking boots, baby.
Okay.
Getting it on, getting down,
Okay.
doing the sweaty balls. That's not to be
I don't
mixed
think
with...
that's a term.
No?
Sweaty balls is an SNL term.
Sweaty
Okay.
balls.
All right.
Sweaty
Yeah,
balls.
it's not that. That's not
No,
the same.
no,
That's an Alec
no,
Baldwin
no.
thing. Yeah.
All right, well,
You're doing great until then.
Well, fine, except for the
You
fact
can-
that,
you
you
can
know,
bring it back.
you
You-
put in some effort, you might get some sweat on you.
Yeah,
Never mind.
you
Fine.
can-
Sorry, Barbara Jean.
Keep it moving.
All right. But yes, in 1951, a little DJ outside of Cleveland named Alan Freed,
Yeah.
who did the Moondog Show, typified the term rock and roll.
Got it.
Okay.
So,
But it was very scary for a while because
and it took off from there.
it
Because he was
but-
one of the most popular
Yeah, yeah.
DJs
Yeah.
in the United
Yeah,
States.
he was
at the
Dick
time.
Clark before Dick Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 51.
Yeah.
I think Dick Clark was around at that time.
Right, but he might not have been. Well, maybe.
I think he was around at that time.
Yeah, I think he's still around, isn't he? Isn't he cryogenically freezed? And
He's
they
probably
bring him out on New
cryogenically
Year's Eve?
freezed. He probably still looks younger than me.
Oh.
All right, Blake, look up real quick when American Bandstand started. I think it was in the 60s.
Yeah.
So,
It might have been late 50s, though.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to tell you, though, it has a really good beat and I could dance to it.
yeah.
So I gave it a 9.
You gave it a
I
9.
gave it a 9. A really good beat and I could dance to it.
Right on the board.
Yeah.
So, all right, mine is Toot Your Own Horn. We were talking about music. Toot Your Own Horn.
Okay?
And it came from a mid 19th century. So it was right around Civil War, a little bit before the Civil War time. And it would be people that come out and they'd blow a trumpet and do announcements. And it usually was an announcement, like a Barnum and Bailey or one of those things where they were being braggadocious. So I don't know if you know this, Lenny, but I have been accused of tooting my own horn before. And if you take that term in a lot of different ways, it sounds even weirder.
Does this involve your chili?
No, it just involves my life in general.
Okay,
fine.
fine.
I have a tendency to make my stories more braggadocious than they need to be.
Big Fish, baby. They're all true.
And you know what? One of my favorite movies of all time
I know.
is Big Fish.
I know.
So I actually have a Big Fish type of life. I get to hang out with amazing people with very, very eclectic lives like yourself.
Diverse, yep.
Pete and Davey and Mike and Rebecca and Blake. I mean, everybody in my life is grandiose in my mind.
Yes. Some of us are grandiose in our own minds. Just to help you out there.
Well, you're grandiose. All you guys are grandiose in my mind. So when I tell stories, you guys just have to live up to them.
Okay.
So, and I do it about myself also.
Yeah.
So I've picked a word origin that basically, kind of epitomizes my life.
When can we expect the memoir?
The memoir, well, it's gonna be later in life because there's still a lot to live.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
There's a lot.
Well, you
to
can do
live.
part one.
Yeah. So I mean, I told you I'm the only person I know that had a book deal, and I didn't write the book. it was The Places I Pee.
Okay.
So I peed. So it's still probably going to be the name of my title.
Okay.
The Places I Peed, but because just think about it, like every place you peed in the world tells a story about where you've been.
Oh, I was just driving cross country after we graduated college. I'll try to make this long story slightly truncated. Picked up a couple of friends of mine in San Francisco, rented a car, which there's a lot of details in that, but we're driving. And as we're up in Washington State and Oregon, and we only got into Washington State just by crossing the Columbia River. Mm-hmm. Oregon, I got to think about this. So it's, is it Olympia, Washington, the capital? What's the capital of Washington State? Is that?
I think that's right.
Yeah, okay. We didn't get there, but we did get to the capital in Oregon, which is something else. I don't think it's not Portland. Maybe it is.
Salem.
That's what I thought.
Salem.
Yeah, okay, I feel better. Good, yeah. So, and we were there. Little did we know, we were driving through an earthquake, believe it or not. We were on an elevated highway and, going over the city. And we find out, half an hour later that there had just been an earthquake when we were on this elevated road, which we didn't know. Mm-hmm. But we are driving past the capital of Oregon, Salem.
Salem.
And, nature called. So what did we do? We made it our business to pee on the steps of the Capitol. It became a goal elsewhere. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can knock off all 50 of those, that's a hell of a bucket list right there.
Yep.
All right. So you wanted the answer to the American Bandstand question. It was so it originally started in Philadelphia locally in 1952. Dick Clark didn't become host.
Only a year later.
Right.
Yeah, but Dick Clark didn't become the host until 1956.
56.
Okay. Who was the host in 52?
I think it was. Hold on, I got it out of that tab. I think it was someone there local, some Philadelphia DJ, I believe. So at the time.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, we're talking about Mount Rushmore's music. All right.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore's of music. Blake, your list is going to be. We have a couple of different generations here. You and I are about 10 years apart.
You don't want to know mine.
No, we do want to know yours. It's very important that we get everybody's. But the Mount Rushmore music, and I had to throw another one in there because I felt horrible. Because on my Mount Rushmore, I don't have any women on my Mount Rushmore. So I want to do also a women's category of the Mount Rushmore if you're prepared for that also.
I'm prepared for all of it. I just think we need to define terms because to just say Mount Rushmore music is so broad.
How about we do these three categories to start, and then we're going to go off on tangents. Okay. All right. So let's just do Mount Rushmore music. Us do women in music. Okay. All right. And they can be on your main Mount Rushmore. I'm not limiting your Mount Rushmore at all. Okay. I'm just saying a woman didn't appear on mine. Okay. And then there's so many great artists I wanted to make sure I had a women's category on Mount Rushmore. And then us do a groups category.
Okay. So now are these our personal favorites or people that have had the biggest impact on music? Because it's very important.
You're the sculptor.
Okay.
Okay. You have full artistic control.
Because we can go back to the history of rock and roll, and you sort of got to get Bill Haley in the comics and Buddy Holly.
But how you define it?
Okay.
How you define this question?
Yeah.
It is 100% up to you, which is a very open-ended question to throw at a gentleman like yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, pages.
Yeah. So
we can do soul. We can do,
we'll probably get to all of those things. But I was thinking my Mount Rushmore, the number one person that hits my Mount Rushmore in my world and in my generation is Michael Jackson.
Okay.
All right. He's my number one.
Gotcha.
So I got Michael as number one.
Michael.
Who's in position number one? Who's in position number one on your Mount Rushmore?
I'll I'll cut your legs out from under you and go Elvis Presley, just because of the effect he had on everything. Though I wasn't a huge Elvis fan, but I'm more of an Elvis fan than I am a Beatles fan by any stretch of the imagination.
And he is my number 2.
Okay.
He is my number 2. Blake, who is in your number 1 position?
I think so. Most of the artists I listen to are groups now. So individually, I'm going to say Eminem.
Eminem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's not a far reach. I think Eminem makes a lot of people's list.
I definitely do.
10 number
think
1
so.
albums.
Yeah, 100%. So.
Yeah, he's definitely on that list.
So I'm playing with Elvis.
I gave my number 2.
You need a number 2 for me. I'll put Jerry Garcia up there with the Grateful
Jerry
Dead.
Garcia.
Oh, I'll say the Dead for groups.
Yeah, but you got Jerry Garcia.
Sure, why not?
So okay.
Yeah.
So my number 3, and BJ's going to be so mad at me. I'm sorry, BJ. I had Prince in my number 3 spot, but I thought about it even long and hard. And I got to put Ray Charles in my number 3 spot. So it just, I mean, when I went back and looked and listened to both music, and I love Prince, I absolutely love Prince, but I bumped Prince for Ray Charles. So who's in your number 3 position?
All right, hold on, hi.
Oh, you haven't done number 2 yet, Blake.
I haven't done number 2.
Who's your number 2?
I haven't done number 2 yet. So
Can you hold it until we're done with the show?
Well, he controls our microphone, so we got to let him participate.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So yes. So my number 2 is I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna say Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Good choice.
Solid answer.
Good choice.
Solid answer.
Good choice.
And I can see him on a statue with those teeth.
Right.
So, all right. So who's your number 3?
I'm gonna go with Aretha Franklin.
Aretha. She's my number 1 on the women's side.
I know she's your big girl.
I love
she's your girl.
So, Blake, who's your number 3?
My number 3, I'm going to say.
And I can tell you this: I've changed it 6 times today.
Yeah.
I still might bring Aretha onto the
big one.
I'm going to say Elton John.
Elton John.
Another good choice.
Great answer. Great answer. See, and everyone's listing in here. Amazing answers. So, you know what? Gosh, I was going to go with Sinatra because I think Sinatra, but I was more of a Dean Martin guy than I was a Sinatra guy.
Okay.
But
I'm learning a lot about Bobby. That's all I'm saying right about now.
Okay.
Learning a lot about Bobby.
Weird Al, that's one of Blake's favorites, by the way.
And Mike Oldham with Tubular Bells.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth, I listened to ad nauseum for 4 years, nonstop. Journey to the Center of the Earth by Rick Wakeman?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, my 4th one, I'm gonna stick with Sinatra. I'm just gonna, because he really was one of the first real superstars.
Nina Simone, good job, Davey.
There you go.
All right.
Who's your number 4?
Bob Marley.
All right, good choice.
Great choice.
Yeah, really good.
Great choice. Blake, who you got?
I surprisingly, I'm going to stay a little bit local and say Tom Petty.
Okay.
Also great. All right, the other category I had, because I felt like on my list, I left them off, and I didn't want to leave off women in music. So in my first position's Aretha. You already named Aretha.
Oh, we're doing women now.
Aretha's number 1.
Number 1.
I moved her into the big board. She's above
big board,
right.
So you don't have to put her on the women's
No,
side.
not at all.
So you're taking an extra pick.
Correct.
I like the strategy you have.
Smart boy. I played this game before.
And I saw Davey already put one of mine down too. So he knows which one I absolutely love. So so who's your first woman in that position?
Janis Joplin.
Okay.
Pearl.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So I play Joplin every once in a while.
We could have done the 27 Club and really cried all night long.
Amy's on Rebecca's list for
okay.
sure. Blake, who's you got Aretha's your number 1?
Yeah, Aretha's number 1. So for number 2, I'm gonna say Rihanna. She makes some good stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. Whitney's my number 2. I think Whitney's voice was a gift.
Okay.
I'm not a religious man, but if that came from anywhere, it came from something very majestic.
Okay. Well, I'm doing the whole package. I'm going with Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt.
Oh yeah.
Only person that's ever on any of these lists that's questioned whether or not I should have had cocaine with me at the time.
What?
Was she asking for it?
Yeah.
Poor
She just
Bonnie.
come out of rehab, and she says every producer I've ever had in the past always had it for me. I was like, I'm not that kind of producer.
Right,
No.
exactly. And you're better off for it, Bonnie.
Yeah, well, and she knew. She was
Yeah.
like, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm not really joking.
Yeah, but
Right,
but
right.
but
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
has so but just like curiosity, has Belinda Carlisle ever been to the amphitheater before?
She has not, and if she does go there, I will be there, because I do love me some Belinda Carlisle, and I love the Eurythmics, but they didn't make the list. Now you're making my list harder.
Hang on.
Who's your number 3?
Hang on. Belinda Carlisle and the Eurythmics are two different.
That's
Same
different.
generation.
Okay.
Go-Go's.
Okay. Okay.
Eurythmics. Anybody born in the
Okay.
80s, stay with that
Oh,
conversation.
right,
then in
fine.
that case, then I'm gonna have to. I was going.
Oh, come on. Tell us Boingo, and be done with it.
Annie Lennox.
Interesting.
Annie Lennox, it's just I'm telling you, I love her too, and I got to put this person in there, and it's just because of the generation I grew up in, and I think, see, I'm so torn. This is like a really, really hard
To narrow this down, of course it is.
category.
Pages.
I'm going to go with Stevie Nicks.
Okay.
Stevie Nicks. And I was my struggle was between, believe it or not, it was between Madonna and Stevie Nicks. And then I have, my fourth one is just somebody that is, I think is going to be on a lot of people's lists, but maybe not. So who's your third?
Tina Turner.
Solid. Blake, you got your final pick of the women.
Oh, I hope maybe isn't watching this because I didn't put Taylor on the Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna go with Shania Twain.
Shania Twain.
Shania Twain.
Saw her
Sorry.
in Vegas. It was a great show, and she's very short.
Yeah.
She wears boots, but she was very short because I followed her into Rayo's afterwards for dinner.
I can tell you this. This was a very hard one,
Go ahead.
and I gotta go with Taylor.
You know what? It's hard not to for her the effect she's had on music. Me personally, no, but for Mr. Hartzell, I think we need her. I think we need her up there.
Yeah, I gotta go with Taylor. Just her last tour alone. I was fortunate
Is it
enough.
still going?
I was yeah, I think so. It's I don't know which era we're in now, but I can tell you I was fortunate enough to meet her and see her as a very, very young lady that when I saw the billing, I thought it was somebody completely different. Have I told you the story, Lenny?
You may have, but I don't think so.
I was at Polestar. The Polestar
Oh
was
yeah.
in LA.
Okay. Yeah.
And that year there was a person, and I can't think of, Blake, look up the name. It was probably 2008, 2009. And it was a person on American Idol, and his name was
Taylor Hicks.
Taylor Hicks. So when I read it, I thought I was going to be seeing Taylor Hicks. And instead, I saw Taylor Swift, and I got to meet Taylor Swift after the show. But if you can, Blake, if you Google, I'm not sure if it was 2008 or 2009. I was at both of those awards.
So Taylor Hicks won in 2006.
Okay, will you Google Polestar Awards 2008 performers and 2009 performers? Because I'm not sure exactly which one it was. But when I saw her, I was like, my gosh, this girl needs to eat something.
Yeah.
She was so thin.
Feed her a cracker.
She was so tiny. Her dad probably was one of the best salespeople that we met. Because the people that were performing at Polestar were people that are about to be going on
Up
tour.
and coming? Okay.
Going on tour the next year. They were the up and coming or,
Emerging artists.
it's where I met Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
I met David Hasselhoff, Davy Jones, all these really, very obscure things. But Taylor's dad was working the room like an absolute champ. And, if she had any question who her champion was,
Yeah.
I can tell you it was her dad that night.
All right. So just to confirm, do you want me to look at like the year end, like who were the best performers that year?
No. The Polestar Awards ceremony and the performers of that It was in L.A.
Yes, I unfortunately I tried pulling up the website, but unfortunately it's gone dark. I think Polestar removed it from the website.
Huh. Okay, I will.
Curse you, Elon Musk.
Yeah,
That's not them.
Oh, I thought it all was.
No,
I'm sure.
he wants to control all of it. Like
Right, and people tell me I'm off base when I call him a Bond villain and a super villain.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
stop.
okay.
Let's stop.
Yeah.
We're having fun. We're having
He might
positivity.
be buying our platform soon, so
I'm telling you exactly, you know.
So,
Or we might be going to that platform if the monetization's well.
yeah.
Well, if they want to sponsor us, I'll still call him a Bond villain, but I'll say it nicely.
Now, how is that really going to work?
Oh, he's a very lovely Bond villain.
All right. Greatest Bond villain of all time. Go.
Right, exactly. See, there you go. Right. He's the biggest, the best. You're right.
All right. So, who's your number 4?
Woman? Well, I'm vacillating between Cher. I mean, we got Taylor Swift up there somewhere. Okay, so I'll go with Cher.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's who Taylor basically knocked off.
Yeah.
Is Cher.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's still good. Look, and I don't doubt that Taylor Swift will have the longevity of the career that, unless she decides to just retire and become a trad wife, I think that she has the propensity to have a career as long as Cher has. But Cher's still going strong, you know, which is really impressive because I think I saw her on her 19th farewell tour.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So
I'm sorry.
All right. So I was trying to go to the Polestar, try and figure out. I think it was 2009, but I'll have to post that.
Okay, while you're doing that, Davey brought up Mariah Carey, you know, putting it into context.
Look,
She's up for a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination.
Oh, do you think she'll play that song during her ceremony concert?
What, all she wants for Christmas is me?
Yes.
All she got to do is ask.
I can tell you that song's like made it to number 1 in more years.
4 decades, I think.
Yeah.
I think
more years
four decades.
than any other song in the history.
Yeah.
So
Well, Mitzi's still hanging in there, so good for her.
Yeah, it's still giving Pete nightmares to this day.
yeah, Pete hates that. Pete absolutely hates that song.
Oh, will we not be playing that at the Florida Man games?
I do not believe that is a Florida song.
Should I bring a boombox?
There's going to be more Leonard Skinner,
Okay.
Tom
Yeah.
Petty.
Tom Petty, mostly Florida, them 38 Special.
Wait,
Okay.
Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice.
Oh,
Yeah,
now.
doesn't he live down in the hammock?
Whoop,
And he
whoop,
builds
hey,
builds
hey,
houses.
Hey! Vanilla Ice wore Hurricane's long sleeve during Ice Ice Baby during the filming of that.
No, I got
He
you.
talked about A1A, Jimmy Buffett Memorial Highway.
Yeah, he's down. He lives down in the hammock, I believe.
All right, so now we're moving on to groups.
Okay.
All right, so I'm assuming your number 1 is
Oh, take a guess.
the Grateful Dead.
Yes, sir, you are correct.
Yep.
They're not the best at what they do. They're the only ones who do what they
They
do.
created,
Correct. Jam
they do.
band music.
yeah, they created what they do
Yep.
in that entire scene.
Yep.
And what's the name of the street that
They were on Ashbury.
Ashbury?
Yeah, corner of Haight and Ashbury, but they're on Ashbury, I believe.
All right. So Lenny. So since you're a huge Deadhead, have you been able to keep track of how many Cherry Garcia pints you have consumed in your life?
Easily. None.
You've never had
Cherry Garcia?
Okay.
I'm a big ice cream guy. I just don't like cherry ice cream.
Oh, wow.
No cherry vanilla, no rum raisin for this boy. No, 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 no.
So you haven't eaten the ice cream that honors your favorite singer and your favorite group.
Correct.
Just because you don't like the taste of cherry in ice cream.
And I will consider that my integrity. Yes. I also haven't eaten fish food. And I really don't like fish that much. They're okay.
Yeah, they are.
I think Trey Anastasio is a fabulous.
I
saw fish, and then I saw Trey Anastasio at the amphitheater with the Trey Anastasio band, and it was just a phenomenal concert.
So you asked for no cherry on your milkshakes.
Correct. Also no whipped cream.
Okay, no, I am not. No, Lenny.
He's possessed by Satan.
No.
Satan.
I can tell you right now, his New York is clearly showing. And he probably you don't. Do you have ice cream on apple pie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
All right. We're saving some grace here. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Sweet tea?
God forbid.
No.
No.
Lipton?
No. I'm sweet, and I put a sweet and low in it if I need to.
Oh my gosh, you saccharine sack of shit.
Yeah, right.
Saccharine.
Find me those Canadian rats. They ain't dead yet. I grew up in a house that had little saccharine tablets.
We can take your list seriously right now.
Oh, please.
Okay. All right. We got Grateful Dead. Blake, what's your number one on the group side?
My number one, Beatles. It has to be. Obviously.
No can do.
Damn you,
You didn't make
Yoko.
your top four.
Beatles don't make my lists.
Okay.
Never was into the Beatles.
Was it because of Yoko?
No, it was just because fair.
All right, Blake. I'm gonna go, and like I said, there's two groups that have to be on my four, and where I put them can be 1 and 2 or 2 and 1, and the group as I was in high school, college,
And
my
Butterfly.
influential point of life is U2. And
Okay.
there's a lot of U2
Okay.
haters out there.
Okay.
And you guys,
That
I'm telling you right now, in the 80s,
yeah.
they were putting out
They-
some
they-
great stuff.
they
Yeah,
make
the
the-
early days were great.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely make some lot of good stuff, but would definitely say their reputation soured after the whole free album on your iPhone.
Yeah. So
Did it at least sound good?
yeah, it was good. It was a good. I didn't think it was terrible. I mean, and it was free. I mean,
Yeah.
why
That's
people
you
complain about it being free? I don't.
Yeah, really.
understand it. So, what's your number two?
Allman Brothers.
Allman Brothers, solid.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
is there a reason why any particular song or
Jessica?
They're just fabulous. And, I've seen them live a bunch of times. Actually saw them at the Jones Beach Theater and had to go back to the nurse to get concert for my ears because we were in the third row by the speakers and it was loud. Yeah. So the Allman Brothers are good. And just, it's a great jam band. It's a great Southern rock band. The guitar playing is fabulous. They've survived motorcycle deaths. They've survived liver deaths. I'm 1 for 2 so far. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but Greg Allman's dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I said that if I predeceased Greg Allman and Keith Richards, there's nothing fair in the world.
No.
I got one gone. Keith Richards just keeps replacing his blood, and I saw him in Chicago last summer, and
He looks better now than he did 20 years ago.
frighteningly so.
Yeah.
It's amazing how good he looks.
All right, and Davey actually said Cher's boyfriend is 35 and she's 78.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That a girl.
Yep, oh yeah.
Don't be making fun of me and Rebecca. Only 20 years.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid to.
Yeah.
Not because of you, but Rebecca scares me
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
So your number two is Allman Brothers.
Yep.
You had the Beatles. Who is your number two?
I'm gonna say Foo Fighters. Like they were just
Solid. I didn't have them on my list, but that
Okay.
is such a solid answer.
See, I'm so old. I keep going back to the old days.
Yeah, and my number two, and like I said, it was U2 and this group is Queen. I loved Queen.
Yep.
I still love Queen. They just put out amazing stuff. So I'm sticking in my generation on the group side. So I gotta go with them. So who is your number three, Lenny?
I'm gonna pull the Rolling Stones out, though. I'm not a huge Rolling Stones fan. I just have to respect the product.
Yeah.
And I've seen them a couple of times, and they've been great shows. And frickin' Mick, 81-year-old Jagger, can still scamper across the stage.
I can tell you this. I like the Rolling Stones, and I saw them live, and I saw them live in Jacksonville. I'm so happy I got to see them live.
Yeah, great live show.
Amazing,
Great live show.
amazing live show. So I can't hate on that at all. Blake, who you got? Who's your number three?
I'm gonna go a little bit controversial and say Linkin Park. They make some.
What?
They made some good stuff.
They put some good stuff out, but you can't put them. Okay, that's just first. You've been crushing this category, but Linkin Park. Oh.
You wait till you hear number 4.
All
What's
right.
that going to be, Blink 182?
Bobby just threw one out to me that I now he's got me questioning a lot of things.
Bobby's brought up some interesting points
Yeah,
today.
he's got Creedence,
Yeah.
Clearwater Revival, and the name of my company, which we'll get to, is Coquina Coast Realty. C.
C-R. Right.
All right.
So
I do love them, but I don't know if they break my top 4 as far as the Mount Rushmore goes.
they were seminal. They did do a lot of changing in music.
See, and I'm a Florida boy,
Okay.
so I have to go with this one. More 70s than 80s, because after the plane crash.
Right.
But I got to go with Leonard Skinner.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's just that Southern. I believe Southern. When you say Southern rock,
I did the Allman Brothers.
you had the Allman Brothers, but as a Florida guy, you say Southern rock, you think of the PE teacher.
Well, you do. I think of the Allman Brothers when you say
Leonard
Southern Rock.
Skinner.
Right,
So
but yes.
if you didn't
yes.
get that reference, that's
Right.
how they named themselves.
Right.
All right. So who's your number 4 as far as the groups go?
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah. See there.
And you know what? I saw them recently at the Sphere in Vegas. And you know what? Expected a good show. And I got a great show.
Yeah.
It was. They sounded so much better. They were still there. Vince Gill, which I found interesting. Vince Gill was filling in for dead. I can see him.
Henley.
No, Smuggler's Blues. His kid played for him. His kid Dylan played for him. Glenn Fry.
Glenn Fry.
But it was just a phenomenal show. By the way, side note, you know who's going to be doing a residency in July at the Sphere?
Who's that?
You ready for this? You're sitting down.
I think I am.
The
Actually,
Backstreet Boys.
That really doesn't help me a whole lot.
It doesn't help me either, but you know. And I looked to see because there's a picture of him. And I had to expand it to see is that the one with Justin Timberlake or not?
I don't hate
No,
him.
that
think
ain't
he-
the one.
He was in sync, right?
Yes, that was in
Okay.
sync.
So obviously I was out of sync with
I
this,
don't
but
hate on him, but
I don't know him.
Yeah.
That's like the Beastie Boys. I don't know them either.
You don't
Whoa.
know the Beastie.
I know of them. I just don't put them in any pantheon of anything.
All right.
Yeah,
So that's your 4. Blake, who is your 4th?
I'm gonna go. So mine is a very local guy, much more local than Tom Petty, from Jacksonville, Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit. He's already said that one.
Yeah,
I'm feeling
I
that
don't know
one.
how I can talk to you, boy.
Not feeling-
It's just one of those days.
I'm not feeling Boys to Men, really, Barbara Jean. By the way, the lead singer of Boys to Men is a very good basketball player. We played at Carolina's gym.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, very good basketball when we did.
I like their harmonies.
When very talented guys put
Yeah,
on an amazing
yeah.
show, and they all like basketball. So I had a pickup game with those guys in Catalina's gym when we were doing the Lincolnville Festival, and they were my headliners of the Lincolnville Festival that year. And I got to go with Blake on this one. On this last one, I was between the Eagles and the Beatles. I ended up leaning towards the Beatles because of their impact during the entire 60s, even though they were only a group for 5 years.
Yeah.
And the Eagles was a group for 5 decades. So I leaned into number ones and impact of changing the music.
I think
And I had to go with the Beatles.
had much more impact on music. The Beatles.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Paul
The Eagles are just better.
Paul's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah.
Paul's a Hall of Famer as a solo artist with the Beatles and with Wings.
So
John Lennon could be one of the most talented songwriters of all time. Harrison and Ringo's still doing his thing. Ringo's probably in my opinion, the least talented of the Beatles. But that's like being the
right.
5th player on the Celtics when they won 10 in a row or
Right.
something.
Right.
So, so I have to put the Beatles on my group Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
I think Paul McCartney had 3 number 1 albums, maybe more. I thought I had it written down, and John Lennon had 2.
Harrison was the first one to have
Oh, the Beatles had.
number 1 song by himself.
I take it back. The Beatles had 19 albums. Paul had 8. John had 3. 19 number 1 albums. The
Yeah.
Beatles are right way up there.
All right.
Yeah.
We got to go through our sponsors. Coquina Coast Realty. Give me a call, 904-669-7901. Kaiser's Deli and Market. Get over there. They have an amazing market. It's not just the best deli in town with the best cuts. Try the Bollox. Go see Kirk. Tell him that we sent you.
Say hi to Jules.
St. Augustine. Don't forget about Jules. She's the one who's making it happen. St. Augustine Pirate Museum, Cindy and that crew, they do an incredible job downtown. Would not be the same and would not be as great as it is if it wasn't for St. Augustine Pirate Museum and Cindy and Colonial Oak and their entire staff. All right, tax season. Bear Kresge and Associates. These guys keep me out of trouble. Anybody who can keep me out of trouble, you got to give them a thumbs up. I'm telling you right now, they are the best CPAs in town. Give them a call. They'll help you out. Meehan's Irish Pub, Reggie and the guys and the ladies over there. Amazing job, amazing food, amazing 3 bars in one. Great music, great atmosphere, great staff. You'll have a wonderful time. Get over to Meehan's Irish Pub.
St. Patrick's Day is coming up on Monday.
It is. It is.
Wear your green.
Right around.
Actually, you're wearing a St. Patrick's Day shirt today. Monday.
No, a month from Monday.
Oh, we're not in March yet?
No.
Holy
Not even
shit.
close.
Yeah. Obviously, number
Well,
one.
don't go there. Well, go this Monday as well.
Number one on his group list was the Grateful Dead, so you got to give him a little grace. All right.
All these studies are saying how my memory is not working well.
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
All right, and then it
Well,
gets into March.
Julie, fortunately, won't watch this.
January, February, March.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Julie won't be watching the show until after the fact, but I already bought her cards and I have them.
There you go.
The gift that she's getting is me.
Well,
Hey, let's see her try to return that one.
yeah. It's like trying to return dirty diapers. All right.
Slightly used?
They smell funny. St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits.
Try the peach.
Amazing tours. The peach at Citygate Spirits. If you have not tried it, it is
By the way,
incredible. Put it and this one
delicious.
It really is. It's a wonderful after dinner
sipping whiskey.
Sipping whiskey.
Yep.
And I don't even know if you can buy it anymore over there.
I don't know.
Select.
Maybe.
But get over there. Their gift shop. If you have birthdays coming up or anything like that, their gift shops are amazing. Buy local, support local.
Tours are great as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful people. All right. So we got about 15 to 20 minutes left.
Excellent.
All right.
Or like 12.
No.
So
I was going to lean towards a country music.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore, if you have one.
I can play.
Okay, can you play along with that?
But before we do that, Barbara Jean, I think it might be on Hulu. Somebody's doing a documentary on Smokey Robinson. So you might want to look into
I
that.
love me some Smokey.
So yeah, absolutely.
Should we do a Motown one instead of...
Absolutely. Either way, I'm not afraid of country.
You want to do Motown or country? We have time probably for
Okay.
both.
By the way, country music is now mainstream music, by the way.
Yeah.
It's more pop than pop. And I don't mean that in a derogatory term, not to diminish pop music, but country music has become completely mainstream.
All right. Yeah, no, I that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
So country music, so we can condense it. It can be a group, or it can be an individual.
Okay.
Okay. So because we gotta get.
I'll play.
We gotta get to Motown and
Absolutely.
And that. So country music, your number one country music. What's the one? If I say, who's the man?
Balake.
Blake.
Shelton. Absolutely.
Oh, wow, you have him at number one.
Saw him at the Viceroy Arena. The man put on a great show. He's personable. He's funny. He's the reason The Voice made it to 23 seasons. Wow. Guy's got a lot of music. He's great. And some of his songs are really pretty fun and fabulous.
Oh, he's a very amazing entertainer.
Very talented. Very, very good entertainer.
I don't know if he makes my top four.
Oh, go see him live and you'll reconsider.
Okay. All right. Chris Stapleton's.
Well, that's my number 2.
Yeah. So, Blake, who you got?
I'm
a huge country guy.
Yeah, unfortunately not. So I'm.
Oh, and my favorite. Oh, good. I got another one too.
I'm just going to say Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. So Garth Brooks is solid. He's my number 2.
Okay.
As far as country music goes, I got to go with this guy, and even though I met Willie Nelson, he's not breaking my top 4. And I enjoyed the time that I had with Willie Nelson.
I'm still thinking of seeing him next week.
I
There's
mean,
a couple of seats left.
Johnny
not living forever.
Cash is my guy.
Does that count as country?
Yeah, Johnny Cash is country.
Really?
You don't think Johnny Cash is country?
Hard to figure.
Blake, would you not consider Johnny Cash country?
I would consider Johnny Cash country.
I mean, his museum's in Nashville.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give
it's all right.
Yeah. So who's your number 2?
I'm gonna go with Little Big Town.
Little Big Town.
Saw him at the Amp, one of the best shows I ever saw. And you know who opened for them? A up and comer named Casey Musgraves.
Gotcha.
Opened the show. Yeah. But yeah, Little Big Town, I like them a lot. They got some really good anthemic songs, like Day Drinking. Cheers.
We live up to that.
We try.
All right. I'm going to say for number 2, there's some... I haven't really listened to it that much, so it's hard for me to say. So it's going to be more modern examples than like past examples.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm just going to say Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
Went country.
Also
Hootie.
A very, very nice human being.
Yes. You can see that. You can see that when you listen to him.
We had him at the amphitheater. Blake, you and I and our family were headed down to Disney. The show was later that night. I prepped everything and then I took off and we went to Disney. Threw the football around a little bit with Darius and his son. Really, really nice human being.
And talented musician.
Very talented.
Interesting left turn when he went from the Blowfish to country.
Broad range there. I'm going to go with Blake's number 1, and you got to have Garth on this list. You just have to have Garth on this list. Okay. In my opinion,
you have to.
He's my number 2.
Okay.
So who you got?
I'm going to go with Chris Stapleton. Hard not to.
Wonderful. What he wrote, what he's done, he's got to be on the list. Blake.
Right. I'm only dipping my toe into the Chris Stapleton pond.
Oh, okay. Blake, what you got?
You know, I'm going to change something around. So I'm actually going to have Garth Brooks number 2 and Darius Rucker number 3 because I'm a dummy and we didn't put it at number 1. Dolly Parton.
She's my number 3.
There you go.
You stole that. You
know what I found out today?
What's that?
She's got tattoos, and that's why she wears long sleeves.
Okay.
I don't know if that's hokum or real.
I don't know if it is or not.
But apparently you never see her without long sleeves on, or gloves sometimes, but long sleeves because she's got angels and butterflies in pastel colors.
I'll let you know next time we shower together.
Okay, you tell me that.
Well, she
help hold her up.
She is my number 3.
She's fabulous.
Yeah.
Dolly for president.
She would win Tennessee easily.
She would win the world.
Yeah.
Dolly is a uniting human being.
Dolly World's a great place to visit too.
There is nothing wrong with that woman. Literacy, poverty, empowerment. She is the whole package.
Yeah.
And she got some talent.
She works 9 to 5.
And people would be amazed to know the songs that other people have covered that she has written.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Amazing.
All right, so we're at your number 3 or number 4? I can't remember. Oh,
I did.
Stapleton. Who's your number 4?
I did Stapleton, Little Big Town, and Garth Brooks, Blake Shot. I'm going to do this for my friend Lou Yeager and my buddy Ray Hayes. Alabama.
Solid. And that's the reason I threw groups in there, by the way, just for that.
Right.
I had Oak Ridge Boys in Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama won out. Blake, who you got?
I'm going to say John Rich.
John Rich?
No, hold on. Sorry.
Big and Rich?
No, wait, hold on. Shit. Wait, hold on. I know it's Rich. Who's the one that sings like no.
Big.
No, not that. Okay. Who's the one that sings the most beautiful woman I ever seen? That Rich.
Most beautiful woman in the world?
Oh, wait a second.
Yes.
This is the guy with the big head.
That's Charlie Rich.
Okay.
That one. Charlie
right.
Rich.
Okay.
Sorry, John.
All right, and since I've left you and Alabama was my 4,
Okay.
I have completely changed because this one to me is what made me fall in love with country music. It's going to be a very crowded Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
All right. It is the entire hee-haw. I don't know if hee-haw was up north.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But let me tell you right now, hee-haw, Johnny Bench sang on hee-haw. I don't know if you knew that, Blake.
Yeah. Hey,
You can find a clip of Johnny Bench singing on Hugh Hop.
Yeah.
Roy Clark, best guitarist ever.
Amazing guitarist.
Amazing. Absolutely.
Guitarist. Some of the most amazing talents in the entire world always showed up on Hee Haw. So I got to give my love of country music
Okay.
to.
No, you just like the Hee Haw Honeys.
They weren't bad. They weren't horrible.
They're Daisy Duke before Daisy Duke.
So I got to give it to Hee Haw. All right, we got to slide into Motown because we only have 4 minutes
Okay.
to get through
All right.
this portion of it. And Motown, who is your... See, I got to go back to Aretha on mine.
Okay.
So I just...
Well, I already did Aretha, so I'll go Temptations.
Okay. So Temptations, you won, Blake. You got a Motown.
Aretha's number 1.
Aretha's your number. Aretha's my number
Okay.
one.
Well, she's on the big Mount Rushmore,
Yeah,
so I
she's
don't
on
need
your
to.
big one, so
Right.
you're not
Okay.
not doing that.
Temptations. Sam Cooke
Gosh, it's amazing one right there.
Yeah.
died way too young.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Was murdered too young.
Yeah.
Right.
Number 2, Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Stevie Wonder.
Yep.
See, my number 2, I love Sam Cooke. I love Sam. So I gotta go with Smokey.
Okay.
Tears of a Clown. I mean, just is one of the most amazing songs out there. I gotta go with Smokey. And Smokey, a lot of people don't realize this. He made most of his money from being a writer
Yeah.
and owning those songs. Like he made more money from My Girl than any of the music he actually performed himself.
Yeah.
So, all right, who's your number 3?
I will be taking trivia off on March 18th
Okay.
because I have a previous engagement with Miss Diana Ross.
Oh.
Cannot do it. I mean, this is another one. She's 81. She's slowing down. She sings a bunch of songs, and she lets some of her backup or her co-singers sing, and then she finishes it out. But Diana Ross and the Supremes were the girl group of the 60s.
Yeah.
Shy Lights notwithstanding, the rest of them. But she's coming to the amphitheater, and I could not miss this opportunity. She's delivering 5 minutes from my house. I got to go. I got to pay respects.
Yeah. No, I got you. So I was never really a Supremes person, but just for the
Just out of respect.
nostalgia of
Absolutely.
all together.
Absolutely. It's pure respect.
Blake, who well, that's back to Aretha.
I know.
Yeah.
But she's on the big she's on a big
one.
mountain. She's a big mountain.
Yeah.
All right. Jackson 5.
Jackson 5. Okay, I like it. Sometimes they
Yeah,
get confused with the Osmonds.
More times than you would think. More times than you would think.
I do love me little Michael. So now you've kind of thrown a curveball at me because I didn't even think of them in that realm because I had Michael on the big. I have him on the big one.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with. I got to go with Sam Cooke also.
Okay.
I got to go. I mean, I don't want to steal a person from you. If this was a draft,
That's okay.
If this was a draft, I'd have to go someplace else. But
Right.
It's not a draft. We can actually have some things in common. So I'll go with Sam Cooke too because his music, gone too soon.
Yes, absolutely. Shot by a motel clerk.
So, all right, who you got?
Well, I'm either going to be right there with Barbara Jean and do Marvin Gaye, or Otis Redding.
Otis Redding. Going a little old school on us, but that's
It's the story of me.
so. Blake, who's your number 4? Motown.
I'm going to say James Brown.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah. Did we leave him off of things?
Gosh, we did. We totally did.
Oh, you did Ray Charles,
I did
not
Ray
James.
Charles.
Oh, yeah, you go.
I did
Okay.
Ray Charles.
Yeah.
I have Ray Charles on my big board. So,
Yeah, hard not to have James Brown up there.
yeah.
Was he Motown? He was just soul.
He was a lot of soul.
Well, he was just soul. I don't know, which is fine. I mean, we don't need to.
We're not going to cross over too much of that. But
No, but that's fine. Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back to one of your number ones. Temptations. Just
Yeah.
When you say Motown,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first thing that comes to mind.
And there is nothing wrong with a group that has one of their singers has his voice come out of his ankles.
Mm-hmm.
That bass is so low it comes out of his ankles.
Well, and first concert I went to was Sha Na Na. When I
Ah.
hear that,
Uh-huh.
I think of Bowser.
Yep. Absolutely.
But when I really hear that, I think of the Oak Ridge Boys.
Okay.
And then the other one is the deep, deep, like you can just absolutely feel like it's just, how does a person talk that low?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's so. You know, we're at the end of the show.
We are. We got another minute. No, we don't. We're at 34. Oh.
Gladys Knight, the Pips, great.
Terry
great
Pendergrass. There you go. That's another one. Barbara Jean is just knocking them out. I had Gladys Knight on a lot of lists there, Barbara Jean. I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
All right, amazing show. Appreciate everybody who was involved in that show. So much fun participation with that.
Oh wait, hold on. I just realized.
He's back.
I just realized one thing. We did forget one person from Motown, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock.
Go away.
Well, he is.
The only thing in Motown is Michigan. That's all he's got about Motown.
No, he is from the city, but so is your guy, Eminem.
Yes.
And I can tell you right now, greatest concert I ever went to, Kid Rock.
He told me that often.
It's just crazy.
I need to see a video.
It's crazy, but it's true.
Okay.
So, all right, I want to say thank you to all you guys. Make sure you're supporting our sponsors out there. This is Bollox. Talks and Tangents. Hit that share button. If you don't like us, hit that share button anyway and just torture your friends. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Have your milkshakes with cherries.